Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anybody who identifies as anything other than that, I'm Devin Walker,
I'm Ashley Perrin.
and you're listening to the goddamn Betsies podcast. What a week it was. Week 2 in the books. Preview of week 3 on the horizon. The Raiders fall hard. The Denver Broncos stink. And so much more went down, and we are here to break it down with you and give you our best bets, our girl dinner bets, our tidbits, our cheat codes, everything that we have acquired through a long lineage of sports gambling. So we did it so you don't have to, and you're about to get it all right now on episode 3 of Betsies. Well, we're back, and I've been sipping heavy. So if I fumble over my words at all, pun intended, sue me, okay? Can't be worse than the Bears. They stink. Now, don't they, Ashley?
Yeah, but you know what? I knew that was going to happen. I always had it in for my Buccaneers, and I think that these next 4 weeks are really going to be the test, not even for the Bears, but for the Bucs as well. Yeah, not a good week to be a Bears fan.
No, not a good week to be a Bears fan, not a good week to be a Browns fan, right? The teams that we thought sucked are starting to show us that they do indeed suck. But there's a couple 0-2 teams that I don't think anybody saw coming. The Chargers, the Patriots, the Bengals. It seems like must-win territory here after week 2. I'm not so sure what happened to Joe Burrow. He's your guy. You bet on his astrological sign to win the Super Bowl. What's going on? What's going on with your goddamn boy?
Honestly, I'm not worried about Joe Burrow because if you look at last season, they started
Are you sure
the
about
season.
that?
I am. I'm
sure
positive.
about
I am positive.
sure
If you look
that?
at their last season, they went 0-2 their first 2 games. Now, granted, they suck. I mean, no one on the team is looking good. But, and we'll get into it later, I do think that week 3 will be the comeback of the Bengals. He is nursing a calf injury. I think that might be a little bit of BS to save face with management, but I'm not worried about the Bengals just yet. They started last year 0-2, went on to finish 12-4, almost made it to the Super Bowl again. We'll see what happens.
You want to know what's weird to me is that I've been told 3 different parts of Joe Burrow's leg is injured. People are saying it's his ankle. People are saying it's his calf. People are saying it's his quad. I don't know. It's only a matter of time before a foot and knee get thrown in the mix. What do you know? Are you sure it's the calf?
I'm not positive. I saw.
Okay, no one's positive. No one.
No, I'm not positive. I was listening to some podcast or saw something on social media about it was an injury roundup because God knows we've had more than enough for the first 2 weeks of football. I think but you know what? The Bengals were really coy about his injury in the
preseason. They never really said anything.
Yeah. I don't know why that is.
They're continuing to not say anything. It's leading me to believe that it's more serious than it actually is.
Yeah, that's usually the way that it goes, which I will say, I think is the same strategy that is being taken for Odell. I haven't heard anything on how long he's going to be out, what the injury is. I think it's something with his ankle, but I mean, the Ravens just cannot keep their team healthy. It's week 2. They're starting lineups halfway on the bench now.
Another injury that, no one's going to mistake for not being that severe was Nick Chubb.
Ugh, so devastating.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
And unlike Burrow and OBJ, Chubb's done for the year for sure.
Yep.
Also, rumors Rodgers coming back. We'll get to that shortly. OBJ, Bemsy, that's what we call Joe Burrow, Joey Bemsy. They're probably going to be fine. Nick Chubb may never play football again.
Yeah, that was one of those injuries that's just
insane.
You just never want to see it. I saw Shefty post on Instagram a picture of Nick Chubb saying, "This is beyond football. Please don't post his injury. Please don't go back and watch it."
Brutal.
Yeah, I was in the air when that game was playing in my Fubo TV. Shout out Fubo, because they streamed. Shout out Fubo. They streamed from Cancun to LAX. Let me tell you, that game was crystal clear, except for the injury. Except for the injury. And I'm happy it cut out. And I went to replay it. And I saw that post by Shefty, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna respect the player and the game right now, and I'm just not gonna go back and watch this injury. But I prayers to him. Doesn't matter what team you're on. That's never something that you want to see.
Yeah, it's a snuff film of a knee. That's what it is. The knee's dead. It died. And one of the things I wanted to talk about as we're on the line of injuries, what's going on with the turf? This is something I don't really know much about, and I keep hearing about it. We're trying to ban turf. We want turf. What's going on?
No. So here's the thing. So, of course, a lot of these football stadiums, if not all of them, have a ton of purposes. It's either hosting football, hosting Taylor Swift, whatever it may be. It's never grass field that the players are playing on. And with the expansion of soccer in the US, it has raised a question of, do we need real grass to play football? And will the absorption of, hits, falls, whatever it may be less impactful for players if we're involving actual grass fields? And I think preseason was littered with injuries.
I thought they were playing on grass and most of it. So you're saying all fields are turf? I thought it was a combo. I thought it was kind of a combo. Because I feel like Gillette's gotta be. I feel like Gillette has to be grass.
Maybe it is, but you know what I think it is? It's not. It's not a rule from the NFL that stadiums have to have grass fields.
Got it.
I think that's it.
They can have turf, because some places definitely have turf, but I'm sure some places have grass. Because like when you go to Gillette, or if you watch a game in like Cleveland and it's raining, it's a fucking mud pit.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I'm also confused as to what turf is, but
you know what? Maybe we throw this question to the listeners, and if anyone wants to clarify,
put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
What's turf?
I do know.
What's going on with the turf debate? We need to know about turf, and we need to know. We also need to know what part of Joey Bemsey's leg is injured.
Producer Mike here, everyone.
Yeah, Mikey, first time on the show. Welcome, Mike, to the show.
Oh, he's gonna fact check us. That's what's gonna happen.
No, I'm not fact checking you. I'm just giving people the information. 50% of the stadiums in the NFL are grass. 50% are turf. Based on the 2022 data, the rate of non-contact lower extremity injuries on artificial turf rose to a rate of 0.048 per 100. The corresponding rate on grass was 0.035.
Wow, 1/3 less.
So 1/3 less. I think the players have a point.
Yeah, but you know what? The NFL Players Association, immediately after, the day after Aaron Rodgers' injury, took a season-long stance, which is we want grass. So
we want to be able to A, smoke it, and B, play on it.
Yep.
And if we can't have those two things, we're fucking out. All right. Good luck. Call the replacements in.
Last piece of information I wanted to give you guys: from 1990 to 2022, 265 teams have gone 0-2 to start the season. 30 of them have made the playoffs, including the 2022 Bengals. So that's an 11% chance to make the playoffs. Could the Bengals do it? Potentially. Are they playing with fire and putting themselves way in a hole? Probably also.
Maybe they're just a slow start team. Who knows? I will say I'm really curious to see what those Super Bowl odds are looking like now. If you're riding with me all season and taking my bets, that's not a bad one to revisit after week 2.
No, absolutely not. And you want to know what? Mike just brought up an amazing point, because I'm a big numbers guy, as those of you who watch me on The Challenge have come to realize, right? I'm looking right now and I'm seeing, let's see, we got 5 in the AFC. We've got, 0-2, 3 in the NFC. For those of you that are on the challenge that are listening, 5 plus 3 is 8. So that means by the law of averages here, with an 11% chance, one of those teams is going to make the playoffs. That's about one of 8. It's really 12 and a half, but it's close enough. We're going to round down in this circumstance.
What could go right with the Bengals? What could go right? Why not the Bengals?
This poses a very interesting question after week 2, and let's get right into this. I'm going to list the teams. It seems like you're steadfast in the camp of the Bengals, but let's take them out for the sake of debate here.
Okay, fair.
You got the Panthers, the Bears, the Vikings. Then you've got the Patriots, the Broncos, the Chargers, we're keeping the Bengals out, and the Texans. Of those teams, who do you think has the best chance of making the playoffs right now after an 0-2 start?
Well, here's the other thing that I think you have to look at, and that is strength of schedule. Because if I'm thinking about some of those 0-2 teams like the Pats, they have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL.
Yep.
If we want to talk about reffing and that Dolphins game, I don't know whose side you're on with that. Actually, I think I know whose side you're on. But
I would be on the side of the Patriots there.
Exactly.
But Bill Belichick is pissing me off. Vagina neck is starting to pee me off, all right? The guy looks like an absolute jerk off. And the thing is, you can only get away with being that much of a curmudgeon if you're winning Super Bowls, all right? And he's not right now, and it's wearing thin on everyone in New England because my ear's to the street out here, all right? And people are not happy with Bill. They're not happy with his goddamn outfits. They're not happy with his stupid neck or his little butthole mouth. And they're not happy with the way the Patriots are playing. Okay, Bill, I know you're listening to this because you listen to the media a lot. You're stinking up the place. Get your head out of your crusty butthole and win a goddamn game. All right, back to you, Ashley. What 0-2 teams making the playoffs?
Honestly,
Bengals, fine. Okay, you're in on the Bengals.
No. We're taking the Bengals out for argument's sake. My heart wants to say the Chargers, but I am so disappointed, I'm disappointed in the Justins. Mostly though, Justin Herbert. I think that Justin Herbert is within an organization that is willing to and has continually set him up for success. I don't know that I can say the same about Justin Fields and the Bears. But
the Bears are out. The Texans
are out. The Bears are out. The Texans are out. Cardinals are out.
The Panthers are out.
Panthers are out.
The Panthers suck.
Well, I don't know. The NFC South. The NFC South. I don't think. I know that
it leaves us with 4 teams. It leaves us with 4 teams, and there's not room enough for 2 because we know that we're even stretching one of these teams making it with the 11% over the last X amount of years. So there's no way 2 of them are going to make it, right? So it's got to be 1. And if we're taking the Cardinals and the Bears and the Panthers out, all NFC teams, by the way, if you play in the NFC, you fucking hit the lottery because the NFC sucks.
So bad.
I personally am going to take the Broncos out as well.
Yeah.
And that's going to leave us the Patriots, the Chargers, and the Bengals. And it's like, I don't know, of those teams, who's got the best chance? You probably take the Pats out. And
I think you take the Pats out. And
even though Mike's not going to like that because he's got a lot of futures in the Pats playoffs. So many futures, actually. A man we won't mention has stopped allowing him to bet on the Patriots. All right? If you're listening to this, nameless man, you're done.
Yeah,
there he is.
We'll recap all of my Patriots futures in a moment. But you really think out of who are the teams we're talking about? The Pats, the Chargers, and the Bengals, that the Pats have the least choice? You're going to take Brandon Staley to right the ship over Bill Belichick? He's proved absolutely nothing.
It's a really good point, and unfortunately, this is really coming back around to Ashley's point again.
Yeah.
Because when I look at those 2 divisions, right?
Yep.
I look at those 2 divisions. They're 2 of the strongest divisions in football. I mean, my Raiders are not good. Let's just be realistic here.
There's no way the Pats make it past the Dolphins. That's just not happening.
It's the
and
Dolphins.
The Dolphins are going to the playoffs.
It's the Dolphins and the Bills, and then it's the Chiefs, right? And it's standing in your way, as well as who else do we have there? As well as the Raiders right now at 1-1. So Chargers, leaning Chargers there for me. The Bengals. Yeah. The Steelers are atrocious. The Browns are atrocious, and the Ravens are notorious late season choke artists.
Yep.
So I agree that it's probably the Bengals, but I want to lean Chargers because I picked them to win that division.
I'm going to go over my Pats futures with you real quick, and then I'm going to make my argument for why I think they're the most likely to turn around. Okay, so we've got 200 plus 5,000. Place this, I think, before the draft even. 200 to win 10,000. 200 to win 1,300. Pats AFC East champs plus 650. And then last week we sprinkled a little bit more, and we got plus 7,000 on the Super Bowl. 100 to win 7,000. Pats AFC champs plus 825. 100 to win 825. Also, I will let you know
I like that you're using our unit.
Yeah. I have a Pats Celtics championship parlay.
Here we go.
$100 to win 18,000. Cash it, folks. Jason Tatum's going to be on a mission. Bill Belichick, for as annoying as he's been the first 2 weeks. Here's my argument. I'm going to make this argument real quick, and then I'll let you guys take it.
I've got a counter.
The Dolphins, honestly, they don't really scare me because we kept them in check this past week. It stayed within one score, and the Patriots offense didn't even play in the first half. They've got a really good defense that's only going to get better. The Bills, as we've talked about in this podcast, I just don't think they're that good this year. I think that they had their window. It's passed. Has Josh Allen owned us? Yes. But Bills made this defense a little bit faster. I really just believe in the defense. And if we can just stop turning the ball over and score a couple points in the first half, then I think the Pats will be okay. This happens every year with the Pats. Like the first 4 weeks is an extension of the offseason. Bill's trying to get the team to coalesce. So like, I don't really make a judgment on them until 4 to 6 games in. They're going to kick the shit out of Zach Wilson this week. Put some money on that, folks.
I was about to ask you where you're at with the Patriots. You taking a money line? You taking them spread? Where you at with them?
I'm going to take the money line all day against the Jets. Zach Wilson's going to need to show me something.
In New York.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stop talking now, but I just wanted to make my case for my guys. And you know what? Brandon Staley, moron. Joe Burrow. I don't know. Something's up. And I don't think that
He got engaged. He got the bag. He doesn't need football anymore. They
can't just keep coming back from these 0-2 holes and like going deep into the playoffs.
But you know,
I'm going to be honest with you guys.
He's a resilient guy.
You want to know what I think happened?
He's the new Tom.
I don't think it's a calf. I don't think it's an ankle. I don't think it's a quad. I think he hurt his dick. I'm going to say it right now. I think Bemsey's got a hurt dick, and he cannot battle back.
Add him to the do not pump list.
Yeah, he hasn't been pumping. She got the ring and said, "That's it for you, buddy." Kid hurt his dick, broke his dick. They're like, "Oh, his leg. Something happened to his leg." No. Joe Burrow broke his dick. You heard it here first, okay? You're not fooling anyone. Notice how it keeps moving. It was an ankle, then it was a calf, then it was a quad. They're leading us with breadcrumbs towards the actual area of injury. Joe Burrow broke his dick. You heard it here first.
Before we move on from this conversation, I'm going to challenge Mike in an NFL NBA parlay, and I think Mike knows what's coming.
Oh God, so do I. You want to say it, or you want me to say it?
Let's hear it.
I want to hear Devin say it. I want to see if Devin.
Well, obviously, she's going to take the fucking Dolphins in the Heat. Duh. South Florida girl. It's obvious.
And that's going against my Buccaneers, who I know, I'm not an idiot. I know they're not going to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Does that make me a Dolphins fan? Absolutely not. But if it means that for a second year in a row, I get to have a win over the Celtics, and maybe now the Pats, I'll just piggyback onto the Dolphins for that. sweet satisfaction.
All right. So this
Okay,
is the way we can do this. I
I'll
know
say-
how we can structure this. For each playoff win by a football team, that's 1 point. For
Okay.
each series win by a NBA team, that's a point. A bye counts as a point.
Okay.
If you don't play in the NBA or in the NFL, that means you were good enough to skip the first week. That counts as a win. You see what I'm saying? So a single game is a point for the Patriots or Miami, including a bye. And a single series win is a victory for the Celtics or the Heat. And the teams that have the most combined points wins this bet.
Yeah, I'll take it in a very scared fashion, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared about the Pats actually.
I know
I
this
don't even
about
think
Mike.
Tua. I don't even think Tua is going to make it to the playoffs. I hope he does. The guy's been playing great. He's unbelievable, but like that's a very precarious situation that he's in. And then the thing that makes me more afraid is the Heat, because as long as Jimmy Butler's on that team, I don't know if Tatum and Brown have the cojones to take him out. They should, because they have more talent now that they have Porzingis. But I do think with the NBA, like Lillard's going to get his way. Lillard's going to get his way. He's going to end up on the Heat. And then once they have that, they're probably going to be good enough to go toe-to-toe with the Celtics. But here's the last point I'll make. And I know we're not in the NBA season yet, but we will be talking about this in the Betsies pod in a month from now. The Heat, I will never bet against Jimmy Butler. That man is an absolute savage.
Or Coach Spo. I mean, Coach Spo. Give credit where credit's due.
Fuck both those guys. I'll bet against them right now. Heat don't make the playoffs. Fuck them.
Heat are making the playoffs.
Here's the problem. The problem is that even if the Heat beat the Celtics, they're not going to beat the Joker, and he's going back to the finals. My prediction for the NBA, again, this is going down a little bit, is either Celtics Nuggets or Celtics Lakers. Lakers are stacked. Well, let's get back to the NFL.
Okay, we'll put a pin in it because I would love to revisit that at a later date.
Put a pin in it. Put a bun on it. Put a bow on it. Put a bun on it. What am I even saying? If we don't start talking about the bets that we're gonna make, or more importantly, the bets that we're never gonna make again, because I have 2 more additions to my do not bet list, I'm gonna be hammered by the end of this podcast. So we have to speed it up.
All right, let me jump in with one to get us back on track.
Okay.
We're talking about numbers. We're numbers people here. It was a ridiculous week for teams that are mid, so to speak. We had 2 overtime games, almost every single game against, a not powerhouse team, the overhit and then some. So I'm curious to see where that goes, because week 1 for the over at the very least was very underwhelming. And week 2 was not. That Lions game, holy shit.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, they scored 80 points last year when they played each other. They scored Seahawks.
I forgot about that.
Seahawks Lions scored 80 points. I think it was 45-42. That game's notoriously a shootout. And we'll get into this shortly, because we've got a mid team on Thursday night in the Giants.
Mid is a compliment.
Mid's a compliment, and it's without Saquon Barkley, and I'm fucking obliterating the Niners. But we'll get that. We'll get to that shortly, because, and this is a good transition, the Giants are on my do not bet list. So are the Jets. So are the Panthers. There's 2 new additions. The Browns are dog shit, and the Broncos broke my heart for the last time. I'm over it. They are abusive. They are cruel. They have gaslit me. They are toxic, and I am over it. I'm done with it. Never again. I don't care how handsome they are. Okay. I don't care how good they lay it down. I am out. You're not taking me to dinner, even if you pay. All right. You're not taking me to drinks. I'm not going anywhere with the Broncos anymore. I'm over them. Mark my words, I will never bet on the Broncos again. They're dead to me. I've blocked them in my phone. It's over.
As a woman in her 30s, I know better than to trust a team that opens their season with an onside kick. So
should have known.
I can't say I'm surprised. I am so sorry.
The amount of red flags. Oh, the amount of red flags, Broncos, you fucking bastards. God damn it, they're brutal.
I almost feel bad for Russell Wilson. Oh God, what a bust! But
yeah,
we'll get to it. We'll get to
what
it.
a dirt ball. Hold on, before we move on here, I want to, because we do need to move on. Are you calling for Carr to get replaced by Jameis Winston?
No.
Okay, I'm misreading this.
This is what I think.
Okay,
I think my boy Jameis, because he is my boy. I'm a Florida State alum, was there during the Jameis Winston championship era. Bucks fan for life, and he got drafted, obviously, as we all know, overall number 1. I also defended him during his interception era, which is absurd, but I did. I think, not to quote Cam Newton, I think that he is better. You can't tell me that there are 32 starting QBs that are better than Jameis Winston. And I think one of those QBs is Zach Wilson. I think that it would make for a very, very, very interesting Jets season. Maybe not if they're thinking that Aaron Rodgers could make a playoff return, but I think it would make for a very interesting Jets season if they acquired Jameis as their QB1 while Rodgers is injured. Reason being is because Carr's got it. He's got it on lock. They had what's his face, the biggest fraud in the NFL, Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Run the ball, close out the game last night.
You think Taysom Hill's the biggest fraud in the NFL?
Kinda. I mean,
in what sense?
He got a massive deal. He's like
he plays special teams, he plays tight end, and he plays quarterback, and no one can tackle him. He's awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah, but like
he's like Tim Tebow gone right.
Yeah, but like for the first 2 weeks of the season last year, he was missing. He was another elusive injury. No one wanted to say how long.
His dick?
You know what it was? He got paid, and then he was hurt. I'm seeing a pattern.
And he hurt his dick. It's a tale as old as time.
I'm seeing a pattern, but I do think Jameis.
Chastity belt these boys.
You can't tell me that there are 32 starting quarterbacks that are better than Jameis Winston, and I think the Jets acquiring Jameis would be incredibly interesting. I think that it would be a slow start. He would have a disadvantage because he didn't get preseason, but that is a stacked team. And I think that he has made a lot of improvements, both in his game, personally, his vision. The man underwent LASIK eye surgery. He's ready to be
he had whatever. I don't know if it's 10/20 or 20/10 or whatever it is, but whatever you see, whatever a normal person with 20/20 vision sees from 20 feet away, Jameis had to be 10 feet away to see it. And he played. Yeah. He threw,
55 interceptions in a season. Yeah.
But he also threw
over
55 touchdown passes and 5,000 yards. He's a gunslinger. I'll give him that. And he's good. And as a Knowles fan, I'd like to see him play, but I don't want to see him play over Derek Carr. And I don't want to see the Saints give him up because as we've seen this NFL season be riddled with injuries, my futures bet on the Saints, which is heavy, it's the heaviest bet I have all year, could potentially ride on the shoulders of Jameis Winston. And I don't think that the Saints are in a position to trade him for what? A 7th-round draft pick? No one gives a fuck about that. The Jets are fucked. They're either pulling someone out of retirement or they're taking a quarterback that was waived. Those are their options, is to take a waived quarterback that doesn't know the offense and bring them in with a shot and a prayer with someone like Bailey Zappi. Shout out Bailey Zappi, great guy. Doesn't know the offense, right? But would have a chip on his shoulder for being waived from New England. I'm sure about that. And you put him with that offense, he's probably better than Zach Wilson. But again, with that being said, those are your options, or you bring someone out of retirement. Otherwise, it's Zach Wilson's football team because no one's going to give up. No one's going to trade their viable backup quarterback, it's not about what he wants. It's about what the team wants. No one's going to trade a viable backup quarterback to replace him with who? A third string guy that they don't really believe in, under the assumption that if their starting quarterback goes down, as we've seen many quarterbacks go down, as I called actually on this podcast last week with our boy from the Colts, it happens all the time. And you may need that guy to plug in for 2 or 3 weeks to get you to a playoff berth. And that's why I don't think Jameis Winston's going anywhere.
Well, and I guess to that point, with all the injuries that we've seen, it is the Saints. Now that you make that point, maybe I'm changing my stance, which is that maybe the most valuable player to have right now on his team
is a backup quarterback.
Is the backup quarterback. So maybe Jameis will get his shot and he will fulfill your hefty Saints bet. I just want to see him. I want to see him play.
Can we all agree though that if even somehow the Jets were able to make the playoffs, you cannot win a playoff game with Zach Wilson, correct?
Correct.
So if you're the Jets 2024, you've got a 2nd round pick and the 3rd round pick, considering the talent on this team, because I take your point, Devin, that Jameis is very valuable, but would you not accept a 2nd or a 3rd rounder for Jameis? And if you're the Jets, you're in win now mode. You've already spent so much money on this roster and accumulated all this talent. Why would you not trade that? I mean, Zach Wilson's just a complete liability. You just need someone who can play quarterback functionally and score some points. Maybe Jameis has learned that, but I know that Zach can't do that. So
you want a game manager, though, if you're going to be – so I agree with what you're saying, but in my opinion, you want a game manager in this moment. You don't want Jameis Winston who's going to try to throw 5 touchdown passes and likely throw 3 interceptions. I don't think that's the fit for the Jets. I think, honestly, the move the Jets should have made in the offseason was for Jimmy G.
Yeah, I agree.
They took a gunslinger opportunity in Aaron Rodgers to get him in the last wave of his career. I thought for a long time those 2 boys should have been switched. I wanted to see Aaron Rodgers back with Devontae Adams in Vegas, and I wanted to see Jimmy G with the Jets because Breece Hall touched the ball 5 times. If Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of that team, and this is what Zach Wilson should be doing, if you are not giving Breece Hall the ball 25 times a game, you are fucking up.
Yeah.
So if they're not calling his number and you're reading the defense, you need a quarterback that's confident enough to audible out of the play and hand it off to the best player on the team. And Breece Hall is the best offensive player on that team. Hot take. But he
not Garrett Wilson?
He is a stud. Garrett Wilson requires someone else to throw him the ball.
True.
Listen, the Jets are fucked. They're about to be really fucked this week because the Patriots are going to beat them. But last thing I want to say on this subject matter, can we stop with the clickbait with Aaron Rodgers coming back?
He's not coming back.
Playoffs. It's not going to happen. The guy's 40 years old.
No.
The record is Cam Akers at 5.5 months, and the guy was fucking 22. So
also another Florida State alum because we know how to crank him out. Let's go.
Shout out Knowles, baby. Let's go,
Knowles. Rodgers is going to be lucky if he ever plays again, much less next year. Like, the guy's 40 years old. Achilles are brutal to come back from. Ton of rehab. So
unless
I know what you're gonna say. he takes a trip, or he takes a trip down south, rubs some ayahuasca and dirt in it, and is ready to go.
Well, yeah, there's 2 options there. You could take the holistic route. You could take the cyborg route.
All right. On that note, we need to move into recapping last week's bets. This is going off the rails. Before we hop into the bets for the upcoming week, Devin, let's just recap your bets from last week one by one.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. I don't know. Where are they? I don't know where they are. Okay. All right. So to add injury to insult, it wasn't enough for me to say I went 0-3. We now need to go through the bets that I lost. I had the Packers, Saints, Chargers, Cowboys, Broncos moneyline parlay at plus 840. That went 2 for 5. So I didn't even go 50% on my parlay there, but it was plus 840. I also had a 6-point teeter, teaser, fumbling. I'm teetering. I had a 6-point teaser with the Raiders, Ravens, Bears, Bucks under, and the Cowboys. Now, this was a little bit closer. The Raiders fumbled the bag and got blown out by the Bills. That was a plus 250, and the Raiders choked at 15.5. If you ask me to make that bet again, I probably do. And you want to know what? Spoiler alert, I'm going to again. And then the final recap is Eagles, Vikings under, which did not hit. Broncos money line, which did not hit. Browns money line, which did not hit. So I went 0 for 3, and I had a parlay that went 0 for 3, and a parlay that went 2 for 5, and a teaser that went 3 for 4. Now, if you add all those up, let's do some quick math. Let's see. That would be 2 for 8, and then you also have a 3 of 4 in there. So I went 5 for 12, given teasers and parlay picks. Now 5 for 12 is not going to win you any money in the NFL. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board, and I'm going to pull my head out of my ass instead of telling Belichick to do it, and I'm going to make you guys some money this week, okay? And that's what I came here to do, and that's why you're here listening, or because you think one of us is hot.
The only one. It can't be both.
It can't be both. It can't be both. This is the only 2 reasons you came to this podcast, because you want to make money or you think one of us is hot. So do the math and tell us in the comments which one that is. And that's the recap of last week's bets. But you want to know what? It wouldn't be an episode of Betsies if we didn't hit everyone with their favorite goddamn segment. It's named after my co-host, and it's where we talk about week 3, because we're over week 2. It's in the goddamn past. We've changed the format. I'll explain it when we get back. But first and Pratt.
Yeah, throw it back. You're going to need it for this one.
Typically, the first and Pren music is longer than that. Wasn't really ready for it. Okay, so here's the deal. We've been workshopping first and Pren. The first one took right around 36 minutes. We had to whittle that down. It still feels long. So here's the new format, right? We're gonna get our week 3 takes kind of in order, like we're organizing a drive, right? So first down, second down, third down, fourth down. What do you do on first down? I don't know, maybe a little bit something conservative. I'm not sure. You want to get positive yards. Second down, what do you want to do? You want to get to third and short. Third down, you need a first down, right? We're going to need a winner there. And then fourth down, because you didn't get it on third down, because maybe you didn't pick a winner, you need a winner, right? Are you guys understanding that? You're following that? So we're going to go first down, second down, third down, fourth down, just like they do in the NFL. The segment's called First and Pren. It's the first time we've done it like this. Ashley, you're going to start. You're going right through your list. You're going to rip right through your list. First down, hut, hike.
All right, guys. So I'm starting off with the Chargers and the Vikings. Devin's got his do not bet list. Mine's a little more fluid, but I will say I am so disappointed in the Vikings. I am even more disappointed in the Chargers. I am not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I wanted to look at this game and pick a money line, but both have such a miserable start. Chargers are dealing with some key injuries. I'm not touching this game. If I were to touch it, I'm always going to take the younger, hotter, more athletic QB.
That's right.
And that's Justin
Kirk
Herbert.
Cousins. Oh,
and that's Justin Herbert.
Okay. I misread that.
Even though I do love Kirk.
That.
I do love Kirk Cousins. But I feel like this is going to be a shit game. This is going to be a pivotal game for either team. However, it's not going to be one that I'm betting on. If I do, maybe I'll add this to my live alerts and I'll double down on Justin, but I'm not touching this. I'm not touching this bet. First down, I don't need it. I'd like it, but we're moving to second down. Even
As long as
though-
there's not an offsides penalty,
there you go.
you should be fine.
Yep.
Right. Got it.
Second down. I think the Ravens are running out of luck quick. I know that they're playing a QB-less Colts this week, but
Questionable.
it was Richardson
Questionable.
isn't coming back. Is it questionable? Maybe he's back.
Richardson is questionable. I called this last week and I said if
You
he
did.
takes even a marginal hit to the head, he's
Yeah.
going to be on the sideline. Now, and I don't mean to cut you off here, but I want to get my little hot take out here for the bettors and for the fantasy players. He will not play this week. He is questionable.
Yeah.
He is questionable, but he will not play this week. They will not risk a third head injury that will sideline him for the season as it did Tua last year. So
Yes.
move on.
So in that sense, I don't even know who their backup QB is, but I don't think it's necessarily someone.
Gardner Minshew.
Oh, it is Gardner.
It's Minshew. That's our guy.
Oh, you know what? Then I'm doubling down even harder on this, which is I think the Ravens run out of luck in week 3. Now, let me say something about the Ravens. I come from a background of a lot of Baltimore strong people, and I want to see the Ravens do well. I'm genuinely rooting for Lamar Jackson, and I love the coach. So
The Wire was
a
great show.
I don't want to have this stance, but I have to be true to the listeners. I've got to be true to my thought process. And I think the Ravens run out of luck in week 3. I think that they lose to the Colts. I hope to God that they don't have. I hope to God they don't have any more injuries. I think they run out of luck. They just squeezed by a very poor Bengals team this week. Just squeezed by.
Okay.
And
whoa.
They lost OBJ.
Not 30 minutes ago. You told our listeners to double down on a Bengals Super Bowl.
I'm getting there.
You're now using a win over that team and saying the Bengals stink. Take the Colts with Gardner Minshew.
Okay, here's my argument. Because the Bengals almost made it to the Super Bowl last year. They went 12-4 after an 0-2 season start. So I still believe in the Bengals that same breath, but they're just as shitty in week 2 as they were last year. And the Ravens barely squeezed by in the process. OBJ is out. They don't know if he's coming back this week. If I'm a betting woman, which I am, I'm not thinking that he's coming back in week 3.
Just for the record, the Ravens never trailed in that game. They had complete control from the beginning. They never trailed in that football game.
Sure.
That game was not close. That game was not close. If it wasn't for a garbage touchdown with 3 minutes left, the Bengals lose by 10, double digits, absolute blowout. Mind you, they were favored by 3.5, and they lost by a field goal. So they blew a Vegas line out by 6.5 points. Let's just be realistic here. I understand what you're saying, but you're doubling down on this Ravens stink thing. And I'm going to warn you, Ashley, and I'm going to warn our listeners. It's getting a little emotional on second down. Okay. You're putting a lot. You're taking a shot early here. Okay. You're taking a shot early on second down, and it's leading you to third down. And I'm here for it. But
all right,
let's get to third down.
Now my third down is just as emotional, and that is the return of the Bengals in week 3.
God damn it.
I think they turned it around in week 3 of last year. They're going to turn it around this season. This week.
Are a pinball. You are all over the place right now.
It doesn't have to make sense. It just has
I
to
respect. It just has to make money. If you want to know what, and that might be our motto, Betsies podcast. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make money.
Listen,
it's really good.
I get. I'm erratic.
It's organic. What's it mean? It doesn't matter. It's provocative.
It doesn't matter.
So you're on Bemsy. You're on Bemsy against the Rams.
I am. And yeah.
Keep in mind, this is third down. You need this.
I know.
You love Bemsy against the Rams?
You don't have to love something and also need something, but I do need this. So
Save that for the girl dinner bet.
oh no, my girl dinner bet is 10 times worse than this. It's bad. But I think that the first couple weeks of the NFL season are always a little wonky. Still getting your footing. I don't know. Maybe it's just deep down. I just want Joe.
First day of a
to do well.
festival, figuring out where the cigarette tents are, where the good music tents are,
where the good porta potties are.
Yeah, where the good porta potties are, figuring out. Yeah, no, I get that, and I do get that.
Yep.
So that's actually a really good metaphor. First few weeks of the NFL season are like the first day at a festival.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't come correct and do your research in those weeks, you're going to have a fucking tough weekend.
Yeah.
You really are.
You really can't take it too seriously. Like, you're going to get your face ripped off that first day at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let it affect the rest of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a good time. And I feel like everyone forgets this about the NFL. Every first 4 weeks, with the elimination of preseason camp, like the elimination of OTAs, like it's getting sloppier. So these teams are all getting it together, and people just love overreact in the first 4 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm overreacting. Who knows? I don't. But
maybe you're underreacting.
Maybe it's.
You ever thought about that? Maybe you're underreacting.
You ever thought about that?
You ever thought about that?
I know it's not the line, but it works.
I look just like that guy. I look more. This haircut's got me looking just like that guy.
We're gonna need a side by side of him and Devin.
Are you sure about that? That guy, I look just like that guy. It's fucking stupid. All right, it's
you know what?
down,
I will say
friend.
this. It's fourth down. I will say this. If the Bengals do come back this week and they finally get a win, I am boasting left and right next week's podcast about that.
Okay, hold on. Here's the thing. If you're going to set us up like that, you got to come with something better than I'm boasting on next week's podcast. No,
Okay.
like you're going to do what? You're going to boast? Okay, great. Perfect.
All right, let's see.
You need to do something. If the Bengals come back.
Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do.
You're going to do what?
I know
it's
what
not
I'm
going to
be
be boast.
I know what I'm going to do. If I am correct on the Bengals coming back in week 3,
okay.
I will sport my 2022 Super Bowl custom shirt that I got made, which says Big Dick Joe on it with a Bengals logo. I will wear that next week if they come back. I really hope that no one from my job is watching this, but if so, you're welcome for the entertainment.
And if they lose, you have to get a new shirt that says Broke Dick Joe.
Honestly, I'll do it.
It will be official.
I will do it. I will do it.
Because it will be official at that point.
Yeah.
That he has broke his dick.
All right, fair.
And that's the truth. Sex sells. Sorry, everyone that works with Ashley.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
really feel bad for you all.
Sorry, everyone. Also, all right, never mind. Moving on.
Let's move on.
Fourth down.
Fourth down. You know it's going to happen. You have no doubt. You absolutely need this. Pats need to win. Perfect storm for the Patriots. They're playing against an ego batter and bruised Zach Wilson, and even more batter and bruised team ego, the Jets. Mm-hmm. We've got Aaron Rodgers saying he's going to come back for the playoffs. That's not happening. Pats win. They need it. Mac Jones is fired up. The fans are fired up. Belichick might not be as fired up. People are a little pissed off with him from what I hear from Devin. But I think the Pats get a win in week 3.
Fair enough. You better hope they fucking do that Philly surge. Also, hold on. I can't believe I just called it that. Is anyone else irritated that they're calling it the Philly surge? And it's like the classic Tom Brady QB sneak that he did for literally 14 fucking years in New England, probably converted on 85% of 3rd and 1s and 4th and shorts. It's insane to me that they're now saying that this is a Jalen Hurts Philadelphia Eagles thing. It is not a Jalen Hurts Philadelphia Eagles thing to QB sneak the ball at the fucking half-yard line, you jackass Eagles fans. I know I picked you to to win the NFC. You're starting to piss me off. Tom Brady did that for 20 years with an 85% success rate. 14 years, I said earlier, because after the knee injury, they shied away from it for a little while. But throughout a 20-plus year career, I want to get the numbers on it, he probably did an 85% success rate. It's Tom's move. It's not Jalen Hurts' move. Moving on. This is my first imprint, all right? It's first down. And I don't have a prediction here. I got something to say.
Here we go.
We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. It's safe. It's a safe convo, but it's absolutely necessary. It is a must win for the Pats, the Bengals, and the Chargers.
Yep.
And what I'm adding to that right now, and I'm coming up with this on the spot, and I don't know what the odds are going to be because I haven't looked at them yet. But I might place this bet live in this podcast right now. Pats, Bengals, Chargers money line. Fuck it.
I will take that bet.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Even though I said I wouldn't touch the Chargers and Vikings, I think
we don't need to do what we say.
The parlay. Yeah, magic is in the parlay.
Yep, we do not need to do what we say in this podcast. We just have to say stuff. That's all we need to do. And I'm going to get this up and I'm going to cue it up and I'm going to fire on it right now, literally live on the podcast. Chargers money line.
Tom Brady's success rate on QB sneaks throughout his career, not counting the Bucks because he stopped doing this on the Bucks.
Thank you. Don't count the Bucks.
82% conversion percentage on quarterback.
And what I say, 85?
Yeah, pretty close.
The NFL needs a new hero. That's what it is. They need a new hero.
It's true.
They're really going to put it with someone else.
Guys, I got real good news for you.
What's the line?
It's plus 459.
So I thought about this exact get right 0-2 parlay.
Wait, you're calling it the get right
parlay? Get right 0-2 parlay. I love that.
We have to do it.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We have to do it.
The get right 0-2 parlay. Put it on.
We have to do it.
The thing that really, really scares me about it is the fact that the Chargers are playing the Vikings. So big brain, galaxy brain. Yeah. What part of we lose that bet, it will be because the Vikings beat the Chargers. You can take that to the bank. The Bengals and the Pats will win, but
okay, hold on. Hear me out.
Maybe we play it from both ways.
Do it from both ways. We can't lose.
Yeah, we can't lose.
Play it both angles. We can't lose.
Yeah.
All right.
So what we do?
What
we do is we go Pats, Bengals, Vikings in a teaser. In a 3-leg teaser, and we give ourselves a chance to thread the needle. Because that way,
you're speaking a completely different language to me.
No, okay. So we go Pats, Bengals, Vikings. Excuse me. We go Pats, Bengals, Chargers in a money line parlay.
Okay.
Then we go Pats, Bengals, Vikings in a 7-point teaser. So if the Pats and the Bengals are going to win outright, doesn't matter, right? But they can still lose, and we would still win one of the bets. But they're going to win anyways. And then we've got an 8.5-point window that the Chargers can win by to win both bets. It's genius.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
It's called threading the needle, and I'm going to do it.
Mark this at home, kids. Next week, we'll revisit this. Anytime someone tells you that the plan is absolutely going to work and there's nothing wrong with it, something is going to go wrong.
It will fail.
Yeah.
Guys, for the record, it's only first down. And which is weird because I just threw an absolute dot 25 yards down the middle on play action, and it's still first down, but technically it's second down because it's first and 10. But what I just did is that I caught the defense off guard. I went quick count. I got to the line. I ran a play action. They thought I was going to do something stupid. Pivot, dot over the center. All right. Corner post. They thought we were going to run a post corner. We ran a corner post. Okay. Gronk, fucking option route. Get familiar. Moving on. Number 2 still isn't a bet, but it's kind of a bet because it's going to influence your bets.
It's a take.
It's a take. It's a piece of information that you're going to want to listen to. We got lots of weather expected for Sunday across the nation. Check the weather reports before you make your bets. And if the weather's bad in your outdoor stadium, bet the under. We have seen this time and time and time again. Week 1 is a prime example. Do not bet overs in bad weather games. I know what you're thinking. The turf, the defenders can't react. It's easier for the receiver to make a move so they know where they're going. The defense has to react to them. Throw all of that out the window. The defensive line of these football teams have gotten so good, and the time to release the ball has gotten so quick.
Yep.
That you need to be absolutely dialed. If there is a fractional, marginal percentage influence on your rhythm as a quarterback, like weather can do, your shit is off.
I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. And even if we're looking at this season alone, let's let that atrocious Browns Bengals game be a prime example. Horrible weather.
Correct.
Under hit. Terrible game.
Bengals
got blown out.
Bad game.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Bad game. The one play, the one instance that this backfires on you is defensive touchdowns. Strip sack fumbles, pick sixes, that type of shit. But if you're playing the odds, those things are not going to happen. So just before you make your bets, and this is a good second down piece of information. Before you make your bets, check the fucking weather because it's going to be brutal this weekend all across the nation, our great nation of the United States of America. Okay. And I do believe we are the greatest country on earth. And if you have a problem with that, you can eat my butt. Moving on, third down. The Saints go marching into Lambeau. Okay. And they will be 3-0 at the end of this game. I'm taking the Saints money line. I'll get to it in my track bets. The Saints, baby. The Saints. Cue the fucking bands, cue the jazz music, cue the people showing their titties, cue the whole thing. I am with it, New Orleans. I love what you're bringing to the table. I don't care that the games are close. I don't care you're giving up garbage touchdowns. Derek Carr's got his eyeliner on. Okay? He looks like
down to his chin.
It's down to his chin, and he looks like a super villain in a bad superhero movie. And I always rooted for the villain. And he's got a weird accent. He's leaning into the accent now. He's doing this weird Moore accent thing. Yeah. When he was in California, he had less of an accent. Now he's down in the bayou. He's got more of an accent. Also happened to the head coach of LSU. That was weird. Who's that? Chip Kelly? Absolute dirtweed. Needless to say, our guy is dialed. Okay. Michael Thomas looks excellent. Not super worried about the Williams injury. This is a team that's going to win close games. This is the Detroit Lions in the last half of the 2022 NFL football season. They're just doing it at the first half of this year. I have a futures bet on the Saints. This is a good game for them. Jordan Love is the truth, but this defensive four will take the runaway. And Jordan Love is going to be tested this week like he has not been tested so far in his NFL career. They are ball hawks. They give pressure, and the offense can score. Give me the Saints money line on my third down pick. Moving to fourth down.
I gotta interrupt really quick. I will say, even though I took some heat for my my first and primes, I have to agree with everything that you're saying so far. I'm liking the direction that you're going.
The Saints are dialed. The Saints are
Saints,
dialed.
the Saints are dialed. The Saints are dialed. I also think that Jordan Love he's going to get a ton of pressure in the pocket this game. I think
they are dialing up blitz packages that are so unique. Like if you really watch that Panthers game, if you really watched it and you really watch, and I understand it's a rookie quarterback. I understand he's not really used to dealing with stepping up in the pocket. I don't think that Jordan Love is either. The Saints are designed to trap quarterbacks that want to leave the pocket.
Yeah.
That's how their defense is set up. If you try to leave the pocket on the Saints, they're going to get to you. They're going to hit you, and you're going to have a really fucking hard time throwing on the run because, again, their secondary are ball hawks.
Yeah.
With that being said, if Jordan Love steps up and starts delivering strikes, they are vulnerable over the middle. I will give them that. That is the recipe for success for the Green Bay Packers. I watched that game last night. I had lots of loot on the Saints. Very happy about what happened there.
Yeah.
I broke my own rule, tease through 0, got him at +4. Absolute fucking easy cash. But that's going to be one of the games I'm really interested in watching. On fourth down, the other game that I'm really interested in watching that I think is going to happen for me, and I believe that it will happen for me, and I will believe that they will bounce back, and I will believe that they will have an Ashley Pren-esque week 1 to week 2 journey here. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. Don't sleep on my boys. They're coming back. I'm still a believer in Jimmy G. I'm still a believer in the Raiders. And I will not be a believer in the Raiders. I met a lady tonight that has a Raiders fan, not tonight, but last weekend. It has like a fan team thing, and they like go and watch games at her above ground pool in Chicopee, Mass. I'm gonna go on Sunday. I'm gonna go to her above ground pool in Chicopee, Mass. And
sounds like a party.
I'm gonna watch the Raiders under her cabana, and I'll be there. And there's no way we lose this game. So if you're wondering if you should bet on the Saints and the Raiders, as you should every week listening to the Betsy pod, the answer is yes. And that's my fourth down play. That's my QB sneak. That's my 82% Tom Brady fucking dive up the middle. It's the Raiders. It's the money line. And I'm taking them and I'm pounding the Raiders money line. You know what time it is, don't you, Ashley?
I know what time it is.
Best bits. It's time for Best BS, and we're going to absolutely get into it right off the rip. We've got some hitters for you. I'm not going to tell you who's giving you what, but I will tell you the plus odds because it's going to entice you, all right? Because you're either here to win money or because you think one of us is hot. Plus 575, plus 155, plus 421, plus 205, plus 386, plus 450, okay? Those are the bets that we're bringing to you. All right. What's your other shitty gambling podcast bring you? Minus 160, snore fest. Go to bed. You're 85. All right. Figure it out. It's boring. Ashley, let's ping pong this bullshit on best bets this week. You start. I'll finish. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into it. So I'm looking at the Thursday night game. And I am all in on the 49ers. I'm taking Brock over 251 passing yards. I'm taking a Debo anytime. I'm waiting for him to go on an absolute hot streak this season. I hope he does.
Nuclear.
Because I have him in my fantasy league. And I need him to pop off. So I'm doubling down fantasy and my tracks bets this week. I'm taking Debo anytime TD. I'm taking San Fran money line. And I'm taking the over. I struggled with whether I was going to take the over or the under for this bet. The reason that I am taking the over is only because of the Daniel Jones show, the second half of the Giants-Cardinals game. Now, that is to say that there is a chance that the 49ers defense is going to stop the Giants and the over doesn't hit. But on the other side, Niners could just steamroll all day, baby. They might hit the over completely on their own. So 4-way parlay plus 575.
That would be impressive. That would be impressive. And I think what you're doing is you're offering the listeners an option. And you're saying if you want to take Brock over 251, Debo anytime, and San Francisco money line, you can do that.
You can.
If you want a spicier meatball, right? If you enjoy a little heat on the tongue, then you can throw the over in for plus 575. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like that's what you're saying.
No. That's correct. And I will say this. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, and producer Mike might hop in and fact check me, but I'm pretty sure that the Niners in week 1 hit the over with their scoring alone. So for that reason, I'm going 4 ways, 575 over. I'm going to work backwards. Over, Niners money line, Debo anytime, Brock 251 passing yards.
That's fair.
251 or over. Yep.
That's fair. That's your play. That's your first tracked bet. It's Brock over 251, Debo anytime, San Francisco money line in the total on the over. It's plus 575. I'm going to go right into what I call the double dog dare you parlay. Okay. And I dare you to take 2 dogs and parlay them together. I'm doing it this week. I'm taking the Titans. I'm taking the Saints. I'm putting together on the money line, and it's going to come out to 386. All right. Here's why I like this play. You've already heard my fucking monologue about the Saints. Don't need to go over that. The Titans are so fucking annoying. They're so annoying. And they won't go away. And they're also on my live alert because they won't go away. And they're fucking annoying. And Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. And eventually he wears down a defense. And when you have to put 6 in the box, you're going to expose yourself to play action. And as much as I hate to admit it, Ryan Tannehill is a really good play action quarterback.
He is.
So I'm on the Titans. And obviously I'm on the Saints. And when you put them together and I see that 386 number coming in, that's really hard for me to pass up. That's my first tracked bet. It's a little bit more conservative than the 840 of my last one. But don't you worry. If you want long odds, they're coming up.
We'll get
Ashley,
there.
number two, who you got?
Number 2, I'm taking the Lions Falcons over, parlayed with
Love that.
Yeah. That's easy money right there. Lions Falcons over, parlayed with Dolphins money line. Plus 155, a little more conservative. But if we learned anything from last week, conservative hits. It hits. I hope it hits. I want to be up. I want to be another 3 for 3. So I think this one is easy money. I'm taking this bet.
The only issue I have with this, and we'll get to this later, I don't want to do a spoiler report. The Patriots may have cracked the code on containing Tyreek Hill. And film study is a huge portion of the NFL.
Yeah.
Because they've got it in fucking HD cameras from 12 different angles.
Drone shots.
They got it all over the fucking field. That's going to be interesting moving forward. If Tyreek Hill gets the AJ Brown treatment, as I know you know because of our fantasy teams.
Yeah.
And it's as good as he is, he's tameable. And we saw that. We saw that against New England. We saw that, and I think the teams will take that blueprint and apply it to playing Tyreek Hill.
I don't think you're wrong, but I also think Tyreek Hill is the type of player that can adapt to being contained. I don't say that about many players. I don't think AJ Brown is necessarily that type of player, but I think Tyreek Hill is that type of player. So while he could potentially get the same treatment that he got against the Pats, he could be contained. He adapts. He's very quick. His football IQ is up there. He's in my opinion, I think he's got one of the highest football IQs on the field. My number one being Jameis Winston, because we'll get into that at a different time. But I don't think you're wrong.
That's insane. That's an insane thing to say.
We'll revisit
Jameis
it.
Winston might have one of the lowest football IQs in the history of the NFL.
I have reasons. I have reasons to back it up. We'll get there
That's
on a different time.
Yeah. What'd you call it? Pinpoint that. Bookmark that.
Earmark
Put
it.
Put a bow on it. Put a bun in it. Put a bun in it.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, but I think that he can outsmart. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Dede, second track bet. Let's go.
Second track bet. Get your pen and paper out. I don't usually do this, but it's all favorites. It's all favorites. It's all conservative bets.
Okay.
Man. But they're all together, and I don't see these teams losing. 49ers, Ravens, Cowboys, Chiefs, Jags, and Bills. I like them all for different reasons. I like the Niners, the Ravens, and the Cowboys because I believe them to be the best teams I've seen in the NFL so far. I like the Chiefs, Jags, and Bills all for the same reason. 1-1 starts. Need to assert dominance. Can't go 1-2. Must-win situations for Chiefs, Jags, and Bills against underwhelming opponents. It's a 6-leg. It's a lot of juice for a little squeeze at plus 205, but I'm willing to take the ride because I want it.
What was the first that you think are the best teams in the NFL?
49ers, Ravens, and Cowboys.
Okay. All right.
From what I've seen, they look like the most complete teams in the NFL. And I say this because each of these teams have an above average quarterback and a top 10 defense.
I won't argue that.
And to be successful in the NFL, if you don't have a top 15 quarterback and a top 10 defense, it is a fucking uphill battle. We've seen that time and time again. Now, I'm not saying I'm ruling these next three out on that. I'm just saying Chiefs, I don't think, have a top 10 defense. So far, Jags have not had a top 10 defense. And the Bills are shaky. They probably have a top 10 defense. Josh Allen is a gunslinger. You never know what you're going to get.
Bills aren't playing like they have a top 10 defense. So
right. But I believe that those three teams will get it done. The Jags are the question mark there. You can take them out if you want, but I'm very confident in this. It's plus 205. It's 6 teams that should winning. I've already got my double dog dare you parlay because underdogs always win at some point in the week, right? So I'm hoping that I pick the right underdogs. I'm hoping that I pick the right favorites. Honestly, I'm hoping it all comes together in some symbiotic kind of fucking universal scenario where like the stars align and I find like a little bit of nirvana and like I'm sitting on Sunday eating chocolate cake and winning money and like, you know,
I want a picture of that.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do. So that's my two. And we're going to Ashley's 3.
All right. My third, I've got a 4-game money line parlay for plus 421. I'm taking Dede's Saints.
Yes.
I'm taking the Bills.
Yes.
Taking the Lions.
Love the Lions.
And I'm taking the Seahawks. The only reason why
Pete Carroll's got a hammer.
It's Pete Carroll. He looked like a little kid that just boofed smelling salts on the sidelines in this past week's game. If I am a player of a maybe they can, maybe they can't team, I want Pete Carroll's energy on the sidelines. I love him.
Talked about it week 1.
I love him. I do love him. So in keeping with the tone of if you want to drop something off, if you want to add something in, maybe you do without the Seahawks, but I think this is a no-brainer. It is plus 421, so maybe Vegas thinks otherwise, but I'm taking this 4-game parlay.
Well, I see no problem with the Saints. I see no problem with the Bills, obviously, as you've seen in my number 2 money line parlay here.
Mm-hmm.
Lions, I'm worried about. I'm less worried about the Seahawks. Lions, I'm a little worried about. I didn't love what I saw, and there's something about the Lions where they haven't learned to win yet. And
I don't
they're just
disagree.
like constantly in close games. And I said this week too. The fucking Lions are the cardiac kids. Could they win the game? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But are they going to make you sweat it the whole fucking time? Yeah, they are.
So here's the
It's
thing.
just what they do. It's just what they do. It's how they're built.
I don't think so. I agree with you, but I sense a similar pattern with the Falcons. I'm not convinced on the Falcons this season. I know that they've played well so far for the Falcons, but
Ritter looks good.
I think that the Lions and the Falcons are in a similar realm, and I don't see the Falcons beating the Lions. I also don't see the Lions getting – I think it's going to be a close game, which is why I took the over, but I don't see the Lions getting beat in a shootout in back-to-back weeks. I know that last season would say otherwise, but I think that they have a shot of energy after that week 1 opener.
Well, Dan Campbell's on record saying that he drinks 3 32-ounce iced coffees every day. He's on record saying that. He's so if you do the quick math there, that's 96 ounces of iced coffee. That's a lot. That's borderline too much.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to ever, start to ridicule someone for their substance intake, as I have had roughly 96 ounces of Knob Creek here during this podcast. But it's a lot. That's a lot, Dan. That's a lot, Dan. And it makes me wonder if down the stretch, because you never see him with one on the sidelines, right?
No.
So is he having a caffeine crash in key moments of the game? That's a legitimate question. Dan, it seems like you have a caffeine dependency. And if you can't get it on the sideline because they won't let you wear a branded Dunkin' cup, are you able to have the things you need to make the right decisions late in the game? And I don't know the answer to that.
Maybe he needs a little bit of whatever Pete Carroll's got going on.
A huge dong? That's genetic, babe. You can't get that at the corner store. All right. I think honestly, I think actually you can. I take that back.
I think you can.
Certainly marketed for it. I don't know if they work, but I haven't tried them per se. Are you sure about that? But Okay, moving on. My third pick. Yep. God damn it. We keep going back to dicks. Titans, Browns, Steelers, Raiders, Niners, Giants, under. Falcons, Lions, Broncos, Dolphins, Bills, Commanders, over. That's a 7-point teaser. It's 6 ways. I'm going to explain this again. When I say the teams back to back, that's the teams that are playing each other. Okay? Titans, Browns, Steelers, Raiders, Niners, Giants, unders. Falcons, Lions, Broncos, Dolphins, Bills, Commanders, overs. It's a 7-point, 6-way teaser at plus 450. It sounds like a lullaby. I'll say it again for all the kids for all the parents that want to put their kids to bed. Titans, Browns, Steelers, Raiders, Niners, Giants, under. Falcons, Lions, Broncos, Dolphins, Bills, Commanders, overs. It's a 6-way, 7-point teaser plus 450. You're going to be eating good today, babe. Why don't you lay your head down on your pillow, okay? Because this is hitting. It's what I call the 3 for 3 special. 3 unders, 3 overs. Take it to the bank. Tracked bets.
Tracked
bets. What it is. It's what it fucking is. And you want to know what we do after our tracked bets, don't you?
It's my favorite.
We go to our goddamn football cheat sheet. We go to the cheat sheet.
You're
So we
drunk?
got that. So we got that going for us.
DD's wasted.
I'm gonna lead off here. I'm gonna lead off because this is actually true. And depending on your partner's confidence in themselves, they're gonna react really well to this or they're gonna react really poorly. I'm just gonna get right into it. In quotes, Micah Parsons is a sex machine.
Okay, the thing that I like about this is that depending on how your partner reacts to this, it's either a red flag or a green flag. If they are threatened by Micah Parsons, you do not want to be with that person.
They should be. They should be threatened by that man.
But you have to have enough confidence to not be threatened in a way that you're also just in awe, which is what you want. But if they're like, whoa, what? If they react weirdly, you do not want to be with this person.
Are you telling me you want to bang Micah Parsons? Like, oh, yeah, duh, you idiot. What do you think? I'm not going to. Hello? Yeah, he's a sex machine. Dee said so.
Dee said so.
Yeah, that's the first one. That's probably best. Honestly, you should say that in the group. Is my reverb up? You should say that in the group.
No, I think you might just be slurring your words at this point.
Is that what happened? You say that in a group of all their friends. You're watching football. You're watching a Cowboys game. You say to somebody, Micah Parsons is a sex machine. It's going to get a reaction.
It's going to get a reaction. You're going to get a reaction. I'm going to go a little more vanilla with my cheat sheet, my first one for the week. I'm gonna dabble across the NCAA, not NC, yeah, right? NCAA football.
NCAA, not chill.
NCAA. I'm gonna dabble across college and professional football.
Okay.
We're going across college and professional football, and the line is, if your guy is talking about his favorite NFL team, just hit him with I heard the coaching staff is looking at Deion Sanders for next season. Yeah. And see what he says. And I'll tell you why, if you're not following college football, there is a huge spotlight on Deion Sanders' football team right now. Hit your man with, I hear their coaching staff is looking at Deion Sanders. The reason that you're going to say coaching staff is because he's never coached in the NFL. And if your significant other, love interest, if he's rooting for a team that has a legacy, proven coach like Andy Reid, like Kyle Shanahan, you're not gonna want to challenge that. But the idea of bringing in a successful, headline-making, badass college football coach into someone's coaching staff.
Lost two toes too.
Lost two toes. Oh, I bring that up all the time.
Eight toes.
That's actually, you know what? I'm gonna reiterate. I'm in this conversation that you're having when you drop the Deion Sanders going to the NFL. Drop him with that too. He only coaches with 8 toes.
That's even better than the first one. Deion only coaches with 8 toes.
He only coaches with 8 toes. Yeah. But it shows that your interest spans across all football, not just NFL, which will get you far.
You can tie it into the turf conversation from earlier too. I don't know what happened. I'm not saying it was turf toe, but he coaches with 8 toes.
He coaches with 8 toes.
Could have been. No one knows. No one's sure.
Bonus points for starting rumors too.
Oh, 100%. Here's the thing. Can we bring them back? Can we bring rumors back? I know they hurt some people, and I get that, and I'm sorry. I've been a victim of them too. They're funny. Rumors are funny. You should say them, and you should definitely say them about people in the NFL. Okay?
You should.
I've been doing it all night. Joe Burrow's got a broke dick. It's funny. Okay,
it's funny.
It's funny to start rumors about professional athletes, and we should all do it more.
We should do it.
I've got another one, and just goddamn it, I keep picking on Joe Burrow. I promise that this isn't a shot at Joe Burrow. He actually seems like a really nice guy. I'm just connecting the dots here. Joe Burrow got engaged and instantly started sucking at football. True story. Ladies, I'm not blaming you, but it does track. Okay? Got engaged, was single, was good. Got engaged, does suck. You might want to start looking internally at what you're bringing to the table for your guy. Okay? Because right now, in this sample size, not going so well.
Or you can
I'll leave it right there.
You can pull the classic Tom Brady and withhold pumps for 72 hours before kickoff.
You could withhold pumps.
Withhold pumps.
If you need to. If you don't, then you probably don't. Now, what I'd like to know is the last successful multi-Super Bowl winning quarterback that has a wife that they won Super Bowls with that they're still with. I'd like
Patrick
to know
Mahomes.
that.
Patrick
No,
Mahomes.
because he just got married.
Oh shit, you're right. You're right.
I know.
They had the baby. They had the baby.
I know I'm
then,
right.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I had that
I
lock
know I'm
loaded
right.
too. I was like, I'm gonna prove him wrong. Damn.
Last multi-winning Super Bowl quarterback that still has the wife that they had when they won the Super Bowls. I want to know the answer.
Because it's not Tom.
Drop it in the comments. Not Tom. Tom's out. And he equates for quite a few of them. Right?
I'm trying to think.
So, and I'm not talking about single win quarterbacks. I'm talking about multi-win quarterbacks, right? So, like
Joe Montana?
We don't know. It's Joe. You think Joe's got the same wife he won the Super Bowls with? I doubt it.
I don't know. He's old as
Joe's
shit.
pumping. Joe is pumping.
Oh, so they still have to be married right now.
Yeah, he's got it. You have to keep. You have to keep the. You have to keep the wife that you.
And it has to be quarterback.
With.
It has to be quarterback.
Yeah, duh. It has to be quarterback. It's the most important position. Yeah, no one exactly. Steve Young, maybe Steve Young.
We're gonna have to
maybe
circle
Steve
back
Young.
on this.
Is Steve Young a good guy? I don't know. Hard to tell. Really tough to tell. What's your
tough to tell? All right, mine's a little softer. My second one's a little softer. It's fun. It gets the people going. It stirs up the combo. It makes your man think that you are a badass bitch that doesn't need a man and can make money off your own bets because you listen to the Betsies podcast. And that's, if my bet hits, I'm buying next round. Short, sweet, simple, invites into the conversation. Well, what bets do you have placed? And then you don't even have to think twice. You're already listening. You just have to place our bets. And you'll come up positive, and maybe you'll feel empowered to buy the next round.
Now, here's the thing, too. If you don't actually want to buy the next round, fade our action. So whatever we say, do the opposite of and be like, oh, my bet is that this team's going to win this week, right? And it's what we said. It's not what we said. And then you'll lose, and then you won't have to buy the next round.
Or take it a step further. I see what you're saying, but you can take it a step even further. Bet against each other, and loser buys next round. However, you listen to the Betsies podcast.
Clean. That's clean.
You listen to the Betsies podcast, and you're going to win. And chances are you're gonna introduce him to the Betsies podcast, and then he's gonna like you even more.
You want to know what? You just came up with a really good first date concept, which is you go out on football Sunday, you both pick a team, and the loser, and you do it on the spread, and the loser of the bet pays the bill.
Wow, I love that.
That's electric.
Let's do second date because men should always pay on first date. Let's do second date. Good idea and also you don't want to do your first date on a Sunday or a Monday.
Why? Because you have to go to church? When do you do a first date? When do you do a first date?
I think
Friday night?
No, Tuesdays are safe.
No, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are for pumping. We've been over this in the group chat.
Oh, that's true. Fuck, you're right. That's true.
Yeah. No.
But
first, unless you're on field and you've discussed the terms of the link up. Okay. And that
Speaking-
is then fine. Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Speaking of pumping and being committed or not, the last quarterback to win multiple Super Bowls and who won their first Super Bowl while married to the same woman that they're currently married to is, this is going to be very obvious when you hear it, Peyton Manning.
Oh, God damn it.
Wait, Peyton got 2? I thought he only got 1 with Denver.
No, he got 2.
Colts. Yeah, got 1 with the Colts against Rex Grossman.
Oh, God, Peyton's such a
Oh, it
good
was
guy.
right there. It was right there. You big four-headed freak. God
And
damn
then,
it.
and then there's no one else forever.
I don't think there's anyone else. Maybe
He's literally the only one.
I mean, I'm just gonna shoot from the hip here, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna actually look into it. Roger Staubach probably stayed with 1 woman. Eli Manning, another Manning. Yeah.
Oh,
That tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
They're good. They're
Okay,
good
so
humble
it's the
boys.
Mannings and then literally no one else.
I'm not actually researching this. I'm just saying out loud. Roger Staubach probably wasn't getting married more than once.
Maybe we need the Mannings on this podcast, and we need to discuss what their secret is. And
We could
winning Super
definitely
Bowls
use the Mannings on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out. I'm just gonna reach out and say, listen, boys, I don't even know if you know this stat, but we'd like to talk about it. We'd like to talk about this chat, about this stat. Excuse me, Peyton, Eli. We'd like to talk about this stat. You're the only men alive that have won multiple Super Bowls and kept the wife you had when you won them.
I'm gonna do in-depth research for this for next week.
What's that like for you? Yeah. I'll tell you
And then
who it's not.
Eli just comes back with, don't tell anyone this. We've been having problems for years.
Let's do a list of people that it isn't. Ben Roethlisberger. Okay.
Yikes.
1. Yeah.
Yikes.
Number 1. Ben, you're out. Tom, you're out. You're fucking definitely out. Who else?
Rogers can't keep a fiance.
Also only has 1. Also only has 1. I mean,
I always forget he only has 1.
There's a short list of people that have 2.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably only the Manning brothers, which is insane. What good family values they've instilled.
Good family values.
Well, we've pretty much already done this, but I guess it's time to get to the live alert. And there's actually
Wow, that does not get quieter week over week.
it's louder every time, to be fair.
It does.
And it honestly feels better every time. It's the live alert. Last week, we didn't have a ton going on. So for my 3 picks, the Ravens never trailed in the game, so we never got them where we wanted to get them. The Chiefs' highest line was plus 1.5. And the Broncos suck, so I did pound them at plus 205. But they lost because they suck and they're stupid. And I'll literally never bet on them again. Mark my words. Look me dead in my eyes. I will never bet on the Broncos again. Now, leading into this week, I have a few things that I really like before we recap Prens from last week. I don't want her doubling down on my shit. She needs to pick her own. Titans money line. If it gets to plus 200, I'm going to obliterate the line. Titans are a comeback team. They've done it time and time again. They did it last year. They're doing it this year again. They can run the ball. They can throw play action. They're very, very solid. Tannehill's a game manager. He doesn't make a ton of mistakes. Strip, sack, fumble is what will cost you a game in that scenario. But I do believe that they have that Titans offense under control with a really solid defense. Titans plus 200. If I see it at any point in that game, I'm firing. Saints plus 200. If I see it at any point in that game, I'm firing. Derek Carr doesn't suck. I don't have him on my fantasy team. I'm not going to change my fantasy team name to Derek Carr sucks. The Saints are going to win close games. I said it before in this podcast. I'll say it again. They are the Detroit Lions of the second half of last year. That's just what it is. They're sucking ass of last year. and that's exactly what I said. The Saints money line plus 200. I'm taking the Pats two ways. Give me the Pats money line at plus odds, anything plus odds, and give me God damn it, and give me the Pats money line at anything plus odds, and give me the Pats plus 3.5 at any point in the game. I'm taking both of them, and I'm pounding that line. It's a must win for the Patriots. We have to have it. They will win that game. Belichick doesn't lose to the Jets with a MILF Hunter quarterback. Pren, it's on to you.
All right. So my live alerts from last week, the hedge didn't need it, didn't work. Bucks got it done. Justin Fields shit the bed. So say that again.
He stinks.
Oh, he stinks. Yeah, louder for the people in the back. We'll get to that next week. I'm gonna have a big Justin Fields talking point after week 3 recap, but didn't need to hedge our bet. So didn't hammer in the live alert for that one. Cardinals, however, did cover the spread. Even though they lost by 3. The spread was 3.5. So if you hammered the Cardinals spread, you cashed out. Broncos country, we're not riding. We're out on the Broncos. Do not bet on the Broncos. Russell Wilson will not be with this team next year. Sean Payton will probably get a brand new set of veneers, even more hair plugs, and be back on some show pretending like he gives a shit, not commenting on live football. This week, going into this week, I'm going to take the Giants to cover the spread. So taking a little step back from DD's approach, when I'm monitoring my live bets, I'm not looking at the line per se. I'm just not, when I say the line, I mean,
well, that's not a good technique.
Okay. Let me take a step back. I have a different approach. I have a different approach when it comes to live betting than DD. I'm watching the momentum of the game rather than hitting when an exact line comes into play. For example, if you watch the Giants Cardinals game, it looked like the Giants were going to get kicked out of the NFL altogether. It was an abysmal
relegated.
start.
They call that being relegated.
It was an abysmal start for that game, but slowly the Giants gained momentum back. It's that kind of behavior that I'm paying attention to when I'm looking at the lines for live betting. With that being said, for the Giants specifically, I'm looking at the Giants to cover the spread if they start to pull the same voodoo shit that they did last week. Even though it's against the Niners, I don't think they're going to win. But let's monitor the spread. Let's see if they get close. I don't know that they will, but I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch the momentum shifts, and I'm gonna observe. I think the Ravens are coming up on a loss again. I know I mentioned this before, but
back to the goddamn Ravens.
I know. Last week it was the Bucks. This week
they are going to empty your pockets.
Well, this is why my strategy for
the Ravens are going to empty your pockets.
This is why Pren's live betting strategy is all about momentum. And if the Ravens have the momentum, I'm going to hedge again against my previous bets. I'm going to hedge again against my previous bets, and I'm going to take the Ravens money line. Steelers, Raiders. I put in my notes that I couldn't wait to hear what Dede had to say about this one. This is another game.
Raiders. I'll be at a middle-aged woman's above-ground pool in Chicopee, Mass. Okay?
Do we get her as a guest next week?
If that's not enough, I'm going to the Rail Trail Ale House, and then I'm going to Chicopee, Mass. Okay, if that's not enough to get you guys on the Raiders, I don't know what is. I got a Jerry Porter jersey.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, there you go. I couldn't wait to hear what DD has to say, and he just said it. So this is another game that I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the momentum, and I'm gonna see what makes sense. I have learned better than to consistently bet against Mike Tomlin. Do I think Kenny Pickett's the guy? No. Morgan Wallen looking ass? No, I do not.
Wow.
But let's see what happens. Let's monitor. Let's feel the momentum.
I want to go over one thing real quickly. Do you think that?
So hold on. The live alert for Steelers.
Do you think that Kenny Pickett has a
Raiders.
Morgan Wallen looking ass, or do you
Have you
think
ever-
he looks like Morgan Wallen? Is it
No.
specifically cheeks, or is it the whole? It's the whole thing.
No, you know the saying like blank looking ass. It's like supposed to be an insult, like you look like someone. But
Right,
not
but
in a
hold
good
on.
way.
Is it? But it's not talking specifically about their cheeks.
No. It's just like their overall like. It's
Okay,
supposed
so
to be an
you
insult.
don't think that Kenny Pickett and Morgan Wallen's asses look the same?
I don't know what Morgan Wallen's ass looks like, and I don't care enough about
Because
Kenny
I
Pickett
honestly,
to
I
learn.
think you're right. I think they're probably very similar.
More
If I-
importantly,
Looking at those boys, I think they probably have very similar cheeks. To be fair.
Cheek
more
alert.
importantly, I just want to underline the live alert from you, Ashley, for Pittsburgh Raiders is let's watch and see what happens. Could go either way. Just
Yeah.
feel it out. Anything you do.
That's not the live alert. That is not the point.
Okay,
of the
okay.
statement.
Let
There is
me
a
say
game
this.
happening.
Let me say
Let's
this. Let me say
watch
this.
it. Let's
I wrote
just take
this-
a peek at it and see
I
what
wrote
happens.
this. I wrote this on the plane last night, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see what Dee has to say about this." And then I never revisited it, and I was trying to
Right.
play it off. Okay.
Okay,
let
so
me,
just
let me
for
make a
the
decision.
record,
Let me make a decision.
as Mike has pointed out, you think that Kenny Pickett and Morgan Wallen have similar cheeks, and you want to watch the game. That's where we're at.
Listen, it doesn't.
And
It
that's
doesn't have
Ashley
to make
Brand's
sense.
live alert for week 3.
It doesn't have to make sense. You just have to like it.
No,
But
you
I
have
like
to make
it.
money. You got to get our taglines right. At
No.
least.
Okay.
It doesn't
Let
have
me-
to make
let me run
sense. It
back.
only has to make money.
Actually, I'll take a page out of Dee Dee's book. If
Do it
the Raiders,
or don't.
if the Raiders go above plus 200, I'm hammering it in. The only reason that I'm not taking a hard stance on this game is because it is going to be a close one. I do think it's going to be a close game. But if the Raiders go above, Raiders money line above 200, hammering Raiders money line.
Raiders.
Not
I've
to be
been
confused
really-
by earlier take of. Let's see what happens.
I've been really, truly using the microphone to my advantage tonight, and I'm about to do it again because it's time for girl dinner, girl dinner, girl dinner, bet on the week.
Tell me what to do.
I'm half in the bag, and it's perfect because this is pretty much when the girl dinner bets hit the strongest. I've lost my inhibition. I've thrown it to the wind. I want to feel the rain on my skin. Okay. Natalie and Bruglia, I believe.
Natasha Benningfield, but close.
Natasha Bedingfield. Natasha Bedingfield? Are you
Benning.
kidding?
But for
Benning.
these purposes, betting field. Yeah.
Natasha Bedingfield. Feel the rain on my skin. This is Girl Dinner Bet, and we're about to get into it right now. You want to start, or you want me to get into this?
I would like to start because it's crazy. And
All right, let me hit you
it's-
with it. Let me hit you with the intro then, though.
Okay.
No one else can do it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can feel the rain on your skin. Natasha.
Girl dinner bet.
Bedingfield.
All right.
Girl dinner bet.
I
Ashley
know.
Cran.
I know this is crazy. I know it's nuts. We've said it before. We'll say it again. It doesn't have
Really?
to make sense. You just have to like it.
Oh, God damn it. We have rivaling taglines.
But girl dinner bet, it doesn't have to make sense. You just have to like, oh, and okay. It doesn't have to make sense. You just have to make money.
Thank you.
So
Way better. It's way
this
better.
this one, it's a gamble. It's a toss-up. And I'm gonna set it up before I tell you guys what it is because it's crazy. I know it's crazy. I am taking the Bears money line against the Chiefs for plus 500. Girl dinner bets, usually we go wild with some crazy parlays. It'll get you in the plus 500s or upwards. I'm going with the Bears, and I will tell you why. With Chris Jones being back on the Chiefs, Travis Kelce playing again, they should have scored a lot more than 17 points in this past game. And the Chiefs, we see season and season again, they have a couple slip-ups where it's like, what the hell just happened? And they lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to. Week 1 is an example. The Lions are good. They should not have lost to the Lions. We see this time and time again. I don't think that the Chiefs have gotten the championship momentum yet that we are used to seeing. I think that Justin Fields is a fucking just
moron.
But when he gets going, he was a fantasy favorite last year. He was getting 30 plus points every week. I think the Bears have set him up for failure. I am sticking by that. But as a player, I believe in Justin Fields. And I feel a little tingle about this bet. I don't know what it is, but I'm taking it and I like it. And that is my girl dinner bet. So I'm taking the Bears money line against the Chiefs plus 500.
She feels a little tingle.
Quick interjection. Week 3.
That's gonna bring us to my girl dinner bet.
Week 3 of last year. Quick point. Week 3 of last year. Colts, Chiefs. Exact same spot, slightly different because I think the Colts defense was a little bit better. But I clearly remember this because it was in everybody's money line parlay. People were just throwing in the Chiefs, throwing them in teases, throwing them into everything. And the fucking Matt Ryan led Colts upset the Chiefs as 5.5 point dogs. What is it this week? 9.5? 11.5?
I think it may be 11.
I think it's 13.5.
Yeah, so double. And this Bears defense is not the Colts defense of last year, but crazier things have happened. It is still
crazier things have happened. The essence of the girl dinner bet is it is supposed to be crazy, and this is crazy enough that it just might work.
Crazy. Oh, you're crazy, girl.
That sounded just like the sound.
You're crazy. I know you guys have been listening to this entire podcast because why wouldn't you? At what point would you listen to this and say, you want to know when I'm going to turn it on? You wouldn't. You would never do that. So you've seen me say time and time and time again, I will not bet on the Broncos. Well, you want to know what? He texted me at the right time because I've had a few drinks, baby. And I'm looking at that Broncos money line plus 250, and it's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm lonely. And I want to cuddle. And I think Russell's going to be there for me. I think it'll be different this time. I really do. No. I know what I said to you. Forget all that. Be nice to him at brunch. Be nice to him. Because he's coming to brunch, and be nice to him. Forget about everything I said. Forget about everything that he did to me. Forget about the tears I shed. he's interested again in me, and I'm interested in him again. And you are my friend, and you have to believe what I say. And if you don't, you're a bitch, and I hate you. So I'm going back to my toxic ex, okay? And I'm betting on the Broncos on the money line against Miami at plus 250. I'm doubling down for all the ladies that have given that guy one more shot. Okay? And I promise you after this, I promise you all, after this, no more. But maybe he'll be a good boy this time.
Maybe, but probably not.
You never know.
Girl, I'm not gonna do it. You know that TikTok sound? I'm not gonna do it. I was thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it. He did it. He took the Broncos money line.
I did it. I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm doing it. I literally did it. I'm taking the Broncos money line. I'm taking the Broncos money line plus 250 on my girl dinner bet. Because we keep going back to the well now, don't we, ladies? And you want to know what? One of these times, he's going to come correct. Let's go, Russell. Come on, baby. Come on. I know you need it. I know I need it. Here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to recap our bets. We're going to recap our bets, our best bets, our best bets. Right? We're going to recap our best bets for week 3. And this is what they are. For Ashley Pren, it's Brock over 251 passing yards, Debo anytime touchdown, San Francisco money line in an optional San Francisco game total over. We're also looking at the Lions Falcons over with the Dolphins money line in a 4-game parlay, all money lines, Saints, Bills, Lions, Seahawks. That's coming in at 421. You might want to touch that spicy meat. Didi's bets. Titans, Saints, double dog dare you. Money line parlay at plus 386. Then I've got the Ravens. I've got the Niners. I've got the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Jags, the Bills in a money line parlay at plus 205. And I've got a ridiculous 6-way 7-point teaser coming in at plus 450. I got the Titans, Browns under, Steelers, Raiders under, 49ers, Giants under, Falcons, Lions over, Broncos, Dolphins over, Bills, Commanders over. Okay? Replay. Take it back to the well. It's plus 450. You're going to want to be on that one because it's going to hit. Week 2 didn't go so good for your boy. Turns out I'm down 5 unitos. Okay, that's Spanish for units. It actually isn't, but it is on this podcast. I'm down 5 units from last week. That's minus $500. Didi's season ledger is plus 6.5 units. I am plus 650 on the football season, the NFL football season so far. Let's move on to Pren.
I'll recap mine. All right, guys. For this week, I finally got my first win. Not 1, not 2, but 4. I'm up 4.385 units for a whopping $438.50 for this week. I'm still in the negative, but we're about to break even. We're going to break even this week. So stick with me. I'll take you places. Minus $61.50. I'll take it. The season is young. There's only room to grow. We're going up from here.
We are young. What's that song?
I don't know. That could be like 60 million different songs.
We've hung.
Love is a battlefield. That's
Love is a battlefield. That's 2 songs mixed together, 3 or 4 to be fair. I am Devin Walker.
And I'm Ashley Pren.
And you all are wonderful. Thanks for listening to the Betsies podcast. We'll see you next week.